Oh my, that was way up here. Good morning. Hi. Hey, Leanne. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Yes. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate you. Good morning. Okay, breaking the bank over there. That's what's up. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tips, Topics, and Talk. I'm Paulette. We're in the Brownstone kitchen, and today, take it a little easy today. Of course, you're going to get the news and information that you can use. If you can go ahead and like, comment, share, let people know that we're here, we're in the room. Let me explain to you what we're doing different today. So I had a long talk with God last night. Let me go get my coffee. I would encourage you to do the same. Y'all know how this works. If you are a part of the Tips, Topics, and Talk family, and you're one of the people in the neighborhood, you know that we grab our what? Our coffee and our water. Mine has my electrolytes in it. I have my vitamins. We're ready to rock and roll. We're ready to do the thing. But today, we are talking about some subtle change road of where we were headed. And I kind of, let's see. Hang on just a second, y'all, because YouTube cutting up. All right. So what I kind of did was I made a decision to kind of slow down and say, you know what? I'm not going to do what I was normally doing, which was giving you all of the politics, like feeding it to you, boom, 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 right? Because that can be a bit much. Hey, Bean, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. Now, what I will tell you what we're going to do, we're going to cover news and information. We're going to give you the basics. And if you want more news and information, I'm going to encourage you beginning this afternoon. We've had some hiccups over here. Beginning this afternoon, we're going to start sharing a lot more of that information on Brown. Hey, Cutter, how are you? Come and get with me. But I don't want us to become so inundated. We're emotional and we're all over the place. We're flipping out. That's what we don't need. We need us to remain steadfast in educating ourselves on what's happening and what's going on. But what we don't need is to be so freaked out by everything that we're not able to make decisions, right? That's what I would not want for any one of us on today or ever. Okay. So first things first, y'all already know how we do. We grab our coffee, we grab our water, we're going to use some information. We're going to talk some lifestyle stuff that's happening in the Brownstone. And then I'm going to go about our day. Right. That's what we're going to do. Yesterday, I think did it for me. And then I was down the rabbit hole early this morning, trying to get some, news and information and some updates on some things. And I thought, you know what? This is how your FYP, your For You page actually works. Because, baby, when I tell you I was down the rabbit hole this morning, I was down the rabbit hole. Like 4 o'clock in the morning, just looking and looking. And I thought, this isn't good. Let me explain to you where my head was at. And I actually prayed about this. I did. Hey, because I freaked out yesterday. Couldn't even work out. Girl, see, that's what I'm saying. We can't, because we're like flipping out. We're trying to figure out what's going on. Why they are. Our emotions are all over the place. And let me explain something to y'all. I sat back and I promise you, I prayed about it because I wasn't really sure how I wanted this to go. So a couple of things. I prayed, and baby, when I tell you I prayed, I have a prayer closet. And I sat in that prayer closet for about an hour and a half in absolute silence. Now, I've been hearing for days what I need, what the next steps are. And I prayed. I got in my little hot tub last night, and I said, what are the next steps? All right, God, you need to show me what the next steps are. What are the next steps? What am I supposed to do? And all I kept hearing was tell it. How am I going to tell it? You prepared for this. And I thought, I don't even have to ask what you mean by that, because I did. Sometimes, and this is the lesson, sometimes we think we are ready, when in reality, it's getting you ready. You take your vitamins, take your vitamins. He's getting you ready. He's been getting me ready. And all of the people who are a part of the neighborhood been getting them ready too. Explain something to y'all. One of the things that I know is nothing is ever by accident. Nothing is ever by accident, folks. And when I heard it, it was subtle. You know how sometimes you just like, did I really hear what I heard? It said, tell it, and you're ready. You've been getting ready. You've been getting ready. So if I've been getting ready, the only thing he could be talking about, or spirit or source could be talking about, is the brownstone. The platform is done, right? Y'all hear me talk about it all the time. You hear me talk about the magazine. You hear me talk about all of the things. And what is one thing that we need in all of this? Everybody needs to play line about it, or we can do a couple of things. One, we need to keep our heads about us during this time, right? It's okay to watch the cats dance. It's okay to come on here and fry food and do all the things. But when y'all come into the brownstone, you're going to understand what's happening, and you can take that back to your communities. And here's something else that I want us to do during this time. I learned last night in all of the research that I was doing that the 14th Amendment is something that, and I'm going to be doing a piece on that later today. The 14th Amendment was made for Black folks. We know this, okay? We know that it was made for us. Everybody else benefit from it. The 14th Amendment for us. Because they tried to say that we were not American citizens. So that was made for us. I need y'all to hear me on this. What is the most important thing for us to understand? And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're white, you're Black, you're Native American, you're Asian, whatever nationality, what your orientation is. I don't care about none of that today. What I care about is how it's we the people. And we need to understand that we are the people in the neighborhood. We are the people in the neighborhood. And I want us to be prepared for these next 4 years, but we can't do that running around willy-nilly. Yep, you're going to get news. Yep, you're going to get information. Yep, you're going to get all the things. But I says, let's straight during this time. You need to learn how to make your money work for you. Wealthy women's lifestyle. You need to learn how to parent and raise children who are able to make it through these next 4 years and beyond. And that would be through the Real on Parenting. You need to learn how to relax and relate and let go through shows like The Eye of the Storm with DJ Tony Sanchez on Saturdays and Sundays. And guess what, folks? If you need a voice for your platform, if you need a platform for your voice, if you need to have a place where you can connect with other people in the neighborhood, I've made a decision that this needs to be that place. More people in the neighborhood. More people in the neighborhood. Not because I'm sitting here going, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that. There needs to be one place. I'm not saying I'm going to be the central place, but it needs to be a decision that you can make for yourself. Hey, Mark, good morning. Or good afternoon, good early afternoon. It needs to be a place where you can glean what you need, but then also still be able to come and get the calm that you need and understand that you're a part of the community. What does that mean? I'm opening up the doors of the podcast platform, and I'm also opening up, starting this weekend after everything is up and running, because it's taking a little bit longer than I thought. I'm not superhuman, and neither is my little team. But what I've learned is that I have a platform to provide you with what you're looking for. In addition to that, it needs to also be a place where you can tell your story your way. That's it. You want to tell your story your way? Come to Brownstone Worldwide. That's it. And one thing that I know is that if we don't tell our story our way, within 10, 20 years, if things have changed with the narrative that we've been telling ourselves is our fault. V. Nicole Johnson says it better than I ever could, but it's the truth. And what's happening right now is somebody is pulling out the thread of our part in history. And I need us to understand that we need to learn how to take care of ourselves during this time. And we also need to learn how to come together during this time. There are no big I's and little U's. We're all Americans. We're all people. There are people that are all around the world, and I went down the rabbit hole, who are terrified for us. I don't want us to be scared. I'm like Crusher. I ain't never scared. That's going to be my new mantra for the next 4 years and beyond. I ain't never scared. I'm livid, and we should be livid. We should be on fire, nation. And I need you all to start sharing that with me. You know what I'm going to do? You want the Constitution? I'm going to show you how to get it, because it's not hard to find. Yeah, they took it down. That's okay. There's more ways to skin a cat. We're going to be working with some other people too. Don't be terrified. I ain't never scared. Let me tell you something. The biggest enemy and the biggest nemesis I've ever had is myself. He don't scare me, and neither do they. We have to be strategic. We can take the information and we need to understand what to do with it. And then also, when we're talking about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, what I want you all to understand is there's a couple of things that we need to be prepared to do. We need to find ways to keep our money in our own communities. Like I said, I don't care what race you are. I don't care what your orientation. But when he unraveled with Lyndon B. Johnson put in position, it let me know all y'all want is my money. You don't care anything about my community. You don't care or not we can eat. You don't care about none of that. You want my money. I've said it before. He don't care about you. He don't care about you. And his people don't either. They want your money. So here's what we need to do. Directory, you got it. You want to write? You want your articles to be seen? You got it. You want to be a part of the neighborhood? Come on. And I'll be sharing a little bit more about that with you. I want to go over the details and the particulars with some other folks over the weekend to make sure that I've got everything in position. But let me tell you what we don't have time for. We do not have time to run and hide. We do not have time because we hold the power. I say it again and again and again and again before we get into news and information, sipping our coffee and our water. The power of collective consciousness can never be denied. I ain't never scared. I never scared. Now I see. God has already set up everything that is necessary. And maybe, just maybe, what I heard was what I heard. I ain't never scared of nothing. Because I done been through so much, baby. I done slept on streets with my children. Don't play with me. This is nothing. I've had my life threatened. I've been in abusive situations. So don't come for me and tell me that I need to be scared. Don't be scared. It's enough of us to stand on business on what needs to be done. So here's what you can expect. If you want to join the people in the neighborhood, there will be an opportunity to do that by Monday. I give you my word on that. If you want your business or you know somebody that has a business and you want the people in the neighborhood directory to be available to them, I'll make sure that it's up and running by Monday. Okay? If you want to be a writer, if you want to tell your story, if you have commentary, if you got news, legitimate, reputable news that you want to put on Brownstone Worldwide, I will give you a login so you can go in there and do what you need to do. We need to start telling our stories. We need to have other ways of providing media to our communities. We need to be a part of this thing called the neighborhood because we are each other's neighbors. Does that make sense? I hope that it does. What we're not going to do is put our heads in next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. That's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. I'm not with it. And like I said, I'm not ever scared. This is just a way for us to connect as a people and understand exactly what it is that we need to do. And that is to be we the people. Yep. What you need me to build, I build it. Yep, absolutely. If you want a whole feature for just for books, we got the magazine on there. Why can't we do book features for authors? You see what I mean? Let's see. We have powerful stories. Everybody has a powerful story. We're not going to fearmonger each other over the next 4 years. That's not going to happen. It is not an option that we should even be thinking about. Yes, book features. You want to feature somebody, you want to tell somebody to come and see us or whatever. If you want to write the article, if they do, by all means, let us know. No, you can inbox me directly. I'm tired. The gloves are off, or rather, the gloves are on. I'm ready to box, but we're gonna have to do it strategically. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So when I come on here and I do the news and the information, you're gonna get the news and the information. But if you want more detail, you're gonna head your tail over to Brownstone Worldwide. That's where you're gonna go. You want a directory of where to spend your money? You want a directory on who's supporting what's happening right now? If you want the Constitution, if you want women's resources, we're gonna put it over there. What does that mean? I need your help. I'm just gonna put it out there. I can't get all of the resources by myself. There is no place for that. I don't have the capacity. But if you want to help, if you want to support, inbox me. Let me tell y'all how impromptu this is. I don't have a plan. What I have is a media platform. What I have is a news, information, and lifestyle website. What I have is Brownstone Living Magazine. What I have is Cityscape Radio, a podcasting platform and app. We can get enough people to the platform, all three, to communicate and to talk. And we can come here and be like the Pied Pipers that we are, to drive them to get other news and information and resources that are necessary. They won't take it down. Oh, okay, cool. They can't censor me on my own stuff. I wish they would. Post it. I will, Mark. Mark and I went to high school together. Thank you for that. I'm very serious. Done is better than perfect. Is it going to be perfect right out the gate? No. Because I'm going to post it and I'm going to go. I'm going to post it and I'm going to go. I'm not waiting for somebody to tell me what I can and I cannot do. That's right. We need women's resources. Okay, I'll build it. Y'all tell me where they are. Put the information in there. Share with me where those resources are. What about him? What about Zuckerberg? I don't care about him. I care not. I'll go over the fan base, which I'm already there. If I had another camera, which I do, but if I had another camera that I could put and I could have all y'all at the same time, baby, I would be all over the place at one time. No. Mark, my friend over here, Mark Griffin. Hey, Erica, how are you? And now one of my high school teachers is over here too. So Mark is a friend of mine from high school. Not Mark Zuckerberg. No. Much older than Mark Zuckerberg. So what have we been talking about? What you may have missed. Over the past couple of days, I have been providing to the Brownstone community. Girl, you so silly. The Brownstone community, I have been providing information about the election, what has been going on, the evil that was just unraveled by your buddy, DJT, and all of that. And then all of the fear mongering that I've been seeing over and over and over again. And let me tell you something. The one thing that I know, we cannot continue in this fashion. It's not going to happen. Some of us are going to lose our minds over the next 4 years. And I absolutely refuse to have that happen. I'm going to redo my manifesto because I learned that we are the people. Right? The second thing is in doing that, reintroducing the manifesto for Brownstone Worldwide. Brownstone Worldwide is going to be the place for you to come, for you to get the resources that you need and the information that you need. I want you, good morning, good morning. I want you all to understand that I prayed about this last night for real, for real. Yes, you can get the news and information. Yes, we can be entertaining. Yes, we can do all the things. But you need a place to go to get additional information so that you're not inundated with it while you are scrolling or whether you're working or whatever. Go and get your news. I didn't say I was CNN. I never said I was MSNBC. But if we, the people, come together and we are providing the facts on the ground in one place, you are welcome to join the neighborhood. Become one of the people in the neighborhood. I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. You don't want diversity and inclusion in the workplace, then you definitely don't want my diverse and inclusive money in your corporations while you are providing us with retail services. You don't want my money then. There was a time where we could all get together, Black and brown folks of all nationalities could get together and say, this is what we're going to do. And we're going to stand on business. But we done got comfortable. You know how we done got comfortable? We don't want to walk anymore. We don't want to walk because everybody got a car, or we got Uber, we got Lyft, and we got all of these places that we can go. I don't want to disrupt my life. Somebody disrupted their life so you could get to where you are to become. I need you all to hear me. When things like this are happening in this country, we need to stand up. These people that got voted in work for us. It's as simple as that. And when you disrupt and shake the very fabric of people's lives and have people running to get out of this country and taking advantage of the swoop of a pen because you can, because a specific group of people got you by the cojones, then we need to do something about it. Because now you're impacting my friends, my loved ones, my family, you're impacting me, and now it's time to do something about it. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the people in the neighborhood of Brownstone Worldwide. If you want to be a part of it, stick around, because I'll be sharing more information about that. Once again, like I said, I had to really, really meditate and say, all right, I keep hearing what my next steps are. What do I do? What do I do? You want a podcast? You want to talk about what's happening? Come and see us at the Brownstone. Do you want to be one of the writers who is providing valid content and information and news? Come and see us at the Brownstone and become a part of the people in the neighborhood. Do you want to write content for Brownstone Living Magazine? What we're talking about is creating a place where you can get this information in one spot and still be able to live a life that is not going to freak you out every single day. I don't want to fearmonger anybody, but we got to start doing something and thinking strategically. So when I come on here, I'm going to be like, hey, y'all, if y'all want more news and information, go on over to brownstoneworldwide.com and get everything else that you need. I don't need to tell y'all everything that's happening. You need to go over there and read it and apply it accordingly. Okay, so they took down the website with all of the reproductive rights. They took all that down. Let's build another one. It's other resources out there. You know of a place in your community that's offering what's necessary. Let's build another one. That's not hard. Anybody that's down, y'all know how to inbox me. That's right. They work for us. And we forgot that. We letting these people just come in here and just do whatever they want to do. Them and their children and everybody else got a position. Nepotism at its best. All of their homeboys was up front. And where were we? Somewhere shaking in our boots. Like I said, outside of the club and you think I'm a punk, right? Don't get me started in here. I'll be cussing. I told them motherfuckers, I ain't never scared. But what we need to be is strategic. Strategy is important over these next 4 years, right? Because I'm going to tell you what I've also learned. Now the Democrats are talking. They had a whole press conference. They stopped the CDC from posting updates. That's the stuff I'm talking about. They stopped the CDC from posting updates. Something else that they did. Research centers have officially been shut down. People that had job offers and had literally closed their entire lives down to go and work in specific areas of the government got letters. Nope, it's over with. So if you don't quit your job, you done did everything. And this man done told you that's enough. Y'all ought to be tired. Then, and I posted it on Facebook and on YouTube. On YouTube as well, and on TikTok. I posted that the man said, "Oh, well, we supported Trump. We just didn't think that it was going to impact us." I never thought the lepers would eat my face. Shout out to Cheska for that. Oh, I never thought the lepers would eat my face. Huh. Okay. You hanging out there and you thought that it was never going to impact you? Okay. All right. This is where we should be. You know when you really, really ticked off and you go, all right, big dog, I got you. All right. Yeah. All right. That's where we're at today. Okay. So let's get into news and information that we can use real quick. More fires in LA, y'all. Let's talk about that. Okay. The Los Angeles fire chief said that a blaze known as the Hughes Fire, which quickly ripped across more than 10,000 acres near Castaic on Wednesday, was 14% contained this morning. Okay, now it is the latest major wildfire to hit the area since a 2-week inferno has devastated the region earlier this month. And we've all seen it, killing about 28 people. The fire has placed more than 50,000 people under evacuation orders, with red flag warnings extended until Friday morning for most of Los Angeles and Ventura counties. See, information like this I'm also noticing, but the people they want to replace, only qualification is exactly. Come on, let's just say it. I ain't scared. It's only for white boys. It's only for white boys. They're getting rid of everything. They're getting rid of it. That's fine. I've told this story and I'll tell it again. Why you bring up that point? Sick and tired of being, yeah, you ought to be sick and tired. Let me tell you something. Like I said, I sat back and I thought, I got a whole media platform. Girl, you out here playing. No, I wasn't. I didn't realize that I was preparing. Right? I know now. And this happened last night. So I was like, okay, how are you going to do this? What are you going to do? Okay, I'm going to just keep praying and I'm going to keep listening. I'm supposed to be here, just like you're supposed to be here at this time. And I'm going to tell you something. The revolution will not be televised. And what I mean by that, if you ever heard Gil Scott-Heron talk about the revolution, he wasn't talking about a physical revolution. He was talking about a revolution and a changing of the mind. But it's an excellent, excellent poem. Now, so when we're talking about, let's go back to this since you brought that up, Cutter. I definitely want to talk about this. When we're talking about sharing the information here, I will always come and we're going to drink coffee, sip your coffee. We're going to take our vitamins, got our vitamins. We're going to sip our water with electrolytes in it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about lifestyle. We're going to talk about food. We're going to talk about travel. We're going to talk about all the things. And then we're also going to be talking about where to send people for additional resources. The link will always be in my bio or whomever else is. Now, we can sit still and let these people roll all over top of us, or we can get up. I said what I said. And I'm also saying to you that we are going to have to find additional ways of reaching out to one another and communicating. And you also need a safe space so that when you come over, I can be like, the griot that sits and makes cookies and makes everything right as rain. You should feel when you come here, not stressed out every time I open my mouth. And it's like, oh my God, I can't take it. And then I got you riled up so tough that you go to scrolling when you log off from the program that we do every morning or every day. You don't need that. You don't need that. We need to stay level-headed and we need to stay focused and we need to be like Bone Crusher. I ain't never scared. Don't you be scared out here in these streets. Do not be afraid out here in these streets. That's what they want you to do. Okay? Birthright citizenship. I think it's important. So here's the thing. The one thing that you need to also know is who are your people in Congress? Who are your people in the Senate? On both sides. Who got your back? Who voted for what? Who didn't? You need to know these things, no matter what state that you're in, so you can make better decisions come the primaries. You need to know what the primaries are. You need to know how government works. Okay? And if you don't know, it's time for us to get a refresher. Simple as that. You need to know that yesterday, what DJT did was he reversed an executive order, not the Civil Rights Act of 1964. You need to understand what those are. Okay? That's where we are. We need to understand what's happening. We need to understand that no-fault divorce is coming up. You need to understand that. You need to know. You need to know, as sure as I'm standing here, that Roe v. Wade will be eradicated once and for all under this administration. And you need to understand what your rights are, what you need to be able to do. You need to understand what happened in North Carolina yesterday with abortion rights and laws. You need to know that a bill has come up. If you're researching anything dealing with that, as a woman, it could cause you to be put on the death penalty. You need to know that. But you also need to be empowered so that the next time that it's time to elect locally or nationally, you are empowered to make better decisions. What happened here during this election was we fear-mongered each other. We pitted races and class against each other. And one thing that I know, and I've seen it before, is you've got a group of white guys that are making all of the money, and then you've got all of these other folks up under who they fueled to help them create the plan that they created. Because this makes some people feel big. It makes them feel great. It makes them feel excited to be a part of it. But they never knew that the leopard was going to eat their face. And now some people are starting to see it. And while we are sitting here on day 3, let me tell you something. We already behind the 8 ball. We already behind the 8 ball. Real talk. And we don't have time. It's time to get up. And I'm talking to me now. It's time to get up, work hard, build real relationships, strong collaborative relationships with other businesses and professionals, so we know exactly where we all are. You don't want to hire me? Because let me tell you what I can't do. I can't hide this beautiful black, brown bean footage. I can't do it. I can't hide the fact that I'm female. But it sure as heavens impacts my ability to be able to find work. And I got 4 college degrees and 8 certifications. I can rock with the best of them, just like the majority of the people that are here right now. But because when I walk in a room, and this is this argument I don't get. So when I walk in a room, somebody said, oh, it should be an even playing field. That's what this program is for, to make it an even playing field, but it is not. Because the minute I walk in a room with my very American name, people turn red. They let me continue with, but you're right, but you're DEI though, right? The minute that I walk in a room for a job interview, because I still interview sometimes just to see if I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? And in my field. So I go out there and I still interview. I've had situations where when they come outside and they're looking for me in the lobby of the major corporations, they take one look at me and one guy turned so beet red he couldn't believe it. He had to turn around. And I was like, oh, okay. And when I walked in the room was nothing but white men. I knew I didn't have a chance in hell, but I gave it my best shot. Four degrees, 8 certifications, DEI hire. Not anymore. Not anymore. Don't even matter anymore. I think that's one of the reasons why I kept going back to school, because I figured it was something wrong with me. Maybe I didn't have enough experience. Maybe, and I keep remembering, baby, you've been working since you were 17 years old. You're 53, 54. How much more experience do you need? You don't need any more experience. You need to just go in there and I'll do one better. I'll start my own business. They knew you were better than them. They knew that I was a Black woman. I know reasons why I have not been hired in certain positions, in certain opportunities. I know. And I know I'm not the only one. Never scared. Never scared. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And I know people get tired of me telling this story, but it's the truth. It is a true story why I am in some of the predicaments that I'm in. You would think somebody like me, I would be able to go somewhere and get me a darn good job, making me $250 or $300K per annum. I'm usually the first to go. They didn't want me there anyway. Of course you have, Cutter. People pretend that it doesn't happen. It does. So when people say, oh, it wasn't needed anyway, but it was necessary. It was necessary. Now you can just look at me and say, oh, no, we don't want her here. She doesn't represent who we are. What do you mean? I've had people tell me that. Here's another one, because I don't know as a Black woman if you hear this a lot, but my tone scares people. I'm sorry, what? Yeah. That's why I stopped. 4 degrees is still not enough. All that debt didn't pay off. Child, let's talk about the debt, girl. Hey, Tracy, I didn't see you all the time. That's what I'm saying. So I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. So Tracy and I had a conversation at the beginning of the year. And big shout out to her. Here is something that I have decided, Tracy. I don't know if you've been a part of the conversation for a minute, but I decided, we're still going to do news. We're still going to do information on tips, topics, and talk, right? But here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to inundate you with the news and information that you're already getting. You can go to brownstoneworldwide.com and get it. But you know what? I had a long talk with Jesus last night. I'm being silly now, right? I had a long prayer conversation while I was sweating it out last night. And I realized that what I have, and I have been hearing it for some time, so I'm going to just tell it again. I have been hearing it for some time. You already built it. And I'm thinking, what can I do? How can I help? Be the place where people can get what they need. Let the people be a part of the neighborhood. Be the people in the neighborhood. Okay, you don't want me to be a DEI hire? You don't want me to represent your company? Well, then you don't want my money. So, true to the conversation that we had, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do the by the weekend. And yes, I'll be tired, but I'm going to definitely do it. I'm going to go ahead and integrate the directory into Brownstone Worldwide. You want people to find you, whether online or offline? This is where we're going to find the people in the neighborhood, right? Not only that, but crazy debt. Mark said crazy debt. Happens all the time. Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the people in the neighborhood of Brownstone Worldwide. Brownstone Worldwide is a place where you can get, it's about reciprocity. Exactly. It's about reciprocity now. So big shout out to all of my folks from back in the day. I'm so glad to see you all in the building from Riverside University High School. Big shout out. Class of what? At 87, 88, 89 is in the building. Big shout out to you guys. But listen, Brownstone Worldwide will officially be the place, the premier place to get news and information. It will also be the place for you to get lifestyle. It'll also be the place for you to get what you need in terms of deals and coupons. I've been talking about it. We had actually slowed down doing anything because I was burnt out. And I said, it's time for me to pick. I just couldn't hear. And then over the past couple of days, I've been hearing, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. So I prayed about it. And I said, okay, so if this is what I need to do, then make it clear. It ain't no more clear, baby. You built it. You took 3 years and you built it. for such a time as this. And now it makes sense. You have to have a place where you can tell your stories your way, where we can have resources available. So they took down the reproductive rights .gov and .org site. Oh, okay. Well, let's just go ahead and just put it over here on Brownstone Worldwide. I'm sure I won't be the only one. But if you know of a place where there are resources for reproductive rights, we absolutely need to get that information out to people. And I'll be sharing. I don't care if it's a Google Doc. I'm going to put it out. I want y'all to start sharing it with one another so we can have one place to get all of the information. You want to write for Brownstone Worldwide and be one of the people in the neighborhood? Inbox me. I'll go ahead and create a form in my stand store. Inbox me. I can create you a login and you can go ahead and write what you need. Of course, it will have to go through my eyeballs first so that we can find out that all of the information that you're providing is true and accurate. If you know of people that have stories that need to be told, if you know of stories and news and information that needs to be presented to the people, what I'm asking you to do is to be one of the people in the neighborhood. The people in the neighborhood, I'm going to keep it really stupid simple. But let's start sharing this information. This is not about anything else except proving that we know how to be strategic. Let's not get comfortable and allow these people to roll over on top of us and piss on us while they tell us that it's rain. That's where my head is at. You want a podcast? I got the platform. Yeah. One consolidated place. And my fan base and my social media? No. But sometimes you don't need to be on here to get all your information. Right? And if it comes down to it, hey, Tracy, I'll create a private login so that we can get the deep stuff. Y'all want me to do that? Tell me. Yeah. I cares not one. I ain't never scared. Where we going to get this information? We need to start hitting people where it hurts. And where does it hurt? In your pockets. So I'll use these platforms for what they're meant to be. For me to be the Pied Piper and to redirect you to where you need to go. That's it. That's all. But over the next couple of, I'll say for the rest of the month, I'm really going to go hard. Y'all going to get prepared to be sick of me. Yes, I'll do the news. Yes, you'll get information. Yes, you need to be educated on certain things. But there's something else that you need to be able to do as well. We need to be taking advantage of everything that is out there right now before they go away. Because they're going away. And what's going to happen to you in that time? I'm not trying to scare you, but we've already seen in the first 4 days, 3 days and today, you already see it, don't you? Thank you, Mark. I will. Like I said, I ain't never scared. Hey, Sakana. I hope I said that right, dear. If I didn't, charge it to my head and not my heart. Yep. We're going to have to stand up. It's time to stand up. We're already behind the 8 ball. We don't have a whole lot of time. Matter of fact, I don't even feel like doing the news now. Sip your water, grab your tea. We got work to do. Brownstone Worldwide. Inbox me directly at this point. I will come back a little bit later and post a video to tell you how to register. I'm just going to do a simple Google Doc because I ain't got time to be programming and all of that. We'll do that later and automate everything. You want to be a part of this movement? You want to be one of the people in the neighborhood? Come on with it. Because what we not finna do is lay the hell down. Like I said, we ain't never scared. We ain't never scared. Now is not the time. Let's see who we can bring into the fold that knows a little bit more than we may know about what's happening on Capitol Hill and what's happening. We need a list of who everybody is. All the things. Yeah, let's start gathering that information. Y'all want me to create a private login? We can do that too. I ain't never scared. It's enough information out there and it's enough of us to stand up to what's happening right now. And never let this happen again. Facts. We're in a new age. You don't want to be uncomfortable? Learn how to use other resources. It's some people out there selling. They got grocery stores. They got local grocery stores. There's local farmers markets. There's all kinds of things. They got pockets just like we do. Share with me information that you know. Be the change. That's right. That's right. Be the change. Now, if y'all down, I would definitely love some hearts. I would definitely love some likes. I would definitely love some shares. Inbox me directly. Let's go ahead and do our 6 list. I don't even have my 6 list here, but one of my 6 lists was to make sure that I came here live. Hey, Beta Bride. Hey, Beta Bride. Discomfort will make you move and make some changes. Absolutely. If y'all down, definitely let me know. And even if you're not, just share the information. Let me tell you what I ain't got nothing to lose with. I ain't got nothing to lose. Hey, sweetie. I don't have nothing to lose. I'm already self-employed. What y'all gonna take? Every month I be trying to figure out how I'm gonna keep stuff running. So I'm unbothered and I'm unafraid. I have raised these babies by myself. What I got to be scared of? That's it. So we're gonna have to learn how to be the change. Like Erico said over here on Facebook, we're gonna have to get in here. We're gonna have to get it done. Thank you so much for the likes and hearts. This lets me know everything that I need to know, that what I prayed about last night was right. I was on time. Yes. Welcome to the people in the neighborhood of Brownstone Worldwide. I will continue to share with you guys more information as I get it, as the download is given to me. But now is not the time to slow down. I got work to do. So the rest of the day, we're going to be focused on that. And then I'm going to share with you all. First of all, go ahead and get the January issue of Brownstone Living Magazine. Go ahead and get started. Go on now. Go ahead and register. Put your little email address in there. Share the issue with other people. But next month, we got Freddie Taylor of Urban Intellectuals on the cover. Talk about Black history. Talk about Black pride. Talk about being independent. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to everything that he's doing for the community, for the people. And I'm not just talking about Black folks. Please remember when I say that, I'm not just talking about Black folks. I'm talking about disenfranchised people that are already being impacted by what has happened in the past 3 days. Become a part of the neighborhood. We the people. We the people. They want oligarch, they can have it. I'll leave you all with this story. Years ago, when I was about 16, 17 years old, I was raised in a foster home in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And my foster parents were born in the 20s. My foster mother was born in 1920. My foster father was born in 1921. We must step outside of our... Yeah, we do. Time to get uncomfortable. We got to walk like they did on the buses in Alabama. Then that's what we got to do. So we were doing a study on the Depression in high school. Never forget it. Study on depression. And every morning they would have their coffee and their water. That's my habit from them. They would have their coffee and their water. So one morning I got up and I was so curious because the pictures were so interesting in my Encyclopedia Britannica. And I was reading about how all of these people were jumping from buildings and they were so afraid and they were this and they were that. And I asked, her nickname, we called her Mama D. And I asked them both, I said, Mama D. He was sitting at the head of the table. She was on the side, sipping coffee, having toast. I said, what was it like during the Depression? And she looked up from her coffee, true story, and she said, what depression? I said, the depression that they're talking about in the books we study. She said, girl, we didn't have no depression. She said, the white folks had a depression. We didn't have no depression. We wasn't allowed to be where they was anyway. We had our own thing going on. They had created their own economy. They didn't have any other choice. They had their own grocery store. So her dad owned a grocery store. And he created all of the credit accounts and things like that for the local people. People would bring in their fresh eggs. And she told stories of it. And she said, I was one of the girls that would put the stuff on the shelves when it would come. And we would order from the catalog and have stuff brought to the store. And then people would come and pick it up. So just think about having to live in a time where your very presence was considered illegal. And so they created their own communities. And when she said that, it didn't hit me until I got grown. And I told this story literally about her saying that to me. What depression? We didn't have no depression. That was when white folks' depression. We didn't have no. We didn't feel that. They did what they had to do. So they didn't know anything about it. Because Lord knows if it had hit them at the same time, talk about buckling to your knees. They had their own homes. They were doing their own thing. They weren't impacted because they had to do what they had to do. And the same thing holds true today. We have our own silos of communities. But with the people in the neighborhood, let's go ahead and do what we need to do. Yeah. True story. Some of us are old enough to remember when our parents were able to get jobs at areas like Pfister Vogel. Hey, Devin, right? Do you remember that? We could do the same thing now if people followed through and supported each other. Well, they don't have to. They ain't got to do that. It's enough of us to make this happen. It's enough of us to tell the stories that need to be told. It's enough of us that know the news that can bring that back, because we can't trust what's out there right now because they're doing it for views and clicks. I want y'all to get the real. And why not have you guys tell that story? I can remember hearing those stories. I can remember as a little girl growing up in the 70s and being a part of the largest Juneteenth ever. So I knew about Black history and what we brought to the table early. Because again, the people that raised me came from the 20s, the 1920s. They lived during Jim Crow. They saw it. They saw when there was a time that you couldn't get a bank account and then you couldn't vote and you couldn't do the thing. You could, what? During the women's suffrage movement and so forth. Amazing story. Yes, it is. I remember sitting, and now I understand why. I remember sitting in the basement and poring over a magazine called the Negro Digest. I never knew until I got grown that was, I had my hands on history because that became Ebony magazine. They kept everything in these boxes in the basement. And Ebony magazine back in the day, you could order like these care boxes, and they were beautifully embossed boxes that you could put like your Ebony issues in, right? And I would pour over them, and I wanted to smell the existence of Sammy Davis Jr. and what he was, shaking hands with somebody or talking to Muhammad Ali and all of these people. We're here. We're here. My grandmother has since, this is my foster mother. She passed away in 2001. Yeah. So hear me when I say that it's enough of us to be the people in the neighborhood. We got this. And like I said, I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared. And we ought not to be during this time. We don't have the capacity to be afraid. So 2 things that you have my word on. 1, I'm going to create the directory. 2, I'm going to create a log, a way for you if you want to register, you want to sign up to become a writer for the people in the neighborhood, a Brownstone Worldwide. You want to present those articles, what's happening in your community, what's happening on the ground. Make sure that you register. I'm going to make it real simple. I'm going to just make a Google Doc. And then we'll transpose it over. You want to help and support behind the scenes? Let me know. I don't have all the answers today. But what we can't do is be silent. We can't be silent. How old was my grandmother during that time? She said she was about 8 or 9, something like that, during the Depression. Right? Y'all, we got this. Start holding our elected officials accountable on the local and the national level. Don't put your head in the sand. We can't. That's what they want us to do. That's what they want us to do. We cannot. That's how they win. If you need to take some time and stop the world and get off, take your Saturday or your Sunday or whatever time during the day and give yourself some grace so that you can go ahead and get a Netflix and chill moment out or take a nap. But you got to get up. You got to get up. I remember growing up in a community where there was a Sister Claire Muhammad school and the Nation of Islam and all of the people that I grew up with in our community, with the Masons and the Eastern Stars and the events that we did in our local communities, because it was all we had. And some of y'all that are from Milwaukee that are watching this right now, you know what I'm talking about. And this was after the riots, from a community that they tried not to rebuild. And they're just now rebuilding. Now the property value over there is through the roof. What are we waiting on? We waiting on somebody to do it and to build it? We'll wait no more. All right. Listen, go ahead and write down the 6 most important things that you have to do for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Wow, you say I'm putting together a magazine as well. Can we talk, please? My magazine is already done. You can go ahead and check it out. Ishi from Arrested Development is on the cover. Go to my Stand store. And while you're at it, go ahead and sign the petition to keep TikTok. We have Senator Ro Khanna and, gosh, I forgot the other gentleman's name, Ed Markey, that are working on it, and Rand Paul, who are working on it. We still need a way to communicate. And what I would also encourage you to do, if you are not already a part of Fanbase, I don't care how glitchy it is. That man is doing it just ground zero, working it out. Go on over there and find out what else is happening. They have chat rooms. Okay? We'll probably be doing the same. All right, folks, do your 6 list, 6 most important things of the day. Make sure that you are crossing those things off. This was one of mine. And then go ahead and make sure that you come back often. I will be sharing some information with you all later. Again, I'm going to be doing the 14th Amendment a little bit later as well, so you understand exactly what it is and how it was actually created for freedmen, and everybody else is benefiting as well. All right, folks, listen, take care of yourself and each other. I'll see you around.